everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. All right, it's the morning show. We are live, everyone. Today is. Oh, let me put on Do Not Disturb because people will be trying to. People will be trying to get in touch with me while I'm live. Hey, Shopify. Look at Shopify showing up on people's lives. I love it. Hey, Shopify. Hey, Stefan. Hey, Courtney. Who's live on YouTube? I have YouTube up and I have, see if I can turn my screen on middle. There we go. Oh, it's a little dark. Let me put on some light. Hold on, y'all. Okay. Welcome to the live. Today, we are going to talk about loving problems more than solutions. You may want to go and get your edge wax for this, not the edge gel. You need to probably get your edge wax for this because that's stronger, right? Courtney is the hairstylist in the group. That is the type of edge protection that you're going to need for this particular morning show. I got some rest. I got a chance to collect myself. It's been a very busy week. It was sleeting last night, and I had to take the little girl to school. She has her game tonight, so I have to go there. Hello. Courtney said yes. You would. Hey, Tiana. All right, y'all. Hey, who is this? Ice Coco. Who is Ice Coco? Who is it? Hey, Sean. Hey, Swavan. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about the problems, right? That we're so determined to keep. And then we're going to move into 2026 digital marketing trends that we need to be on par for. Okay. And we need to really like focus. We need to really like, we got to decide how we're going to live life going forward and what type of life we're building. There's so many things. Y'all know I'm a, what is it called? Sociology, psychology. I mix all of that in my content because I want you to be well informed and not just about, oh, let's talk about 10K months. I talk about why you need to solve the problem. I need to address why you need a foundation and why you need to develop your character, why you need to develop willpower and initiative, and to be very, very focused. Okay. Very focused going forward. Yes, Lori. Lori said, Happy Tuesday. What violence have we woken up and chosen today? How we love to keep problems. That's what we chose today. We got on here and shots of fire, baby. Trigger. What is it? Trigger fingers on. Cause we gotta. This is December. Is the mic on YouTube? Y'all hear me? Give it some hearts if you can hear me. All right, so let's just jump right into it. As an authoritative content strategist who's also a leadership coach, I've been blessed to coach so many amazing women over the past 6 years. And I've really been a coach for 10 years now. And I started off as just a life coach, right? And I'm saying just a life coach to minimize the importance of a life coach, but I have definitely enjoyed coaching women on progression of life and goal orientation. because a coach is someone, I want you to listen to what I'm saying. A coach is someone who solves performance problems. Okay. They solve performance problems. They are not your back rub person. I mean, we can rub your back or whatever, but you're still gonna have to do the work. Okay. Even through the tears. And you have to be ready for a person like that. There's a lot of people that say they're coaches, but they let people get away with mediocre behavior, loser based behavior, if you will. And I always tell people that, if you can't take the heat, then you probably need to stay out of the kitchen because my kitchen is very hot. Okay. Um, so we got to get rid of these problems that we love to hold so much. And I'm talking about not just financial or economic problems that's dealing with us individually, but the problem of consistently sabotaging yourself, consistently telling yourself that, okay, I'm doing just enough, or at least I'm doing this. It's not about the least, it's about the most because you deserve the most. There is discomfort that comes with success. Amen. I'm done taking us to church, but I'm trying to get us to wake up today. So I need y'all to go. I don't care if you have to go get a paper towel. You need to take some notes. Let me put my glasses on because like one of my clients said, she said when Jay put her glasses on, it means she's not playing. Because I have to be able to see. I got to see who I'm popping today. Okay, so first talk about what's the definition of a problem because some of y'all forgot what a problem is. Okay. We gotta, and feel free to share this broadcast with someone that you know that needs to see this, a friend or a person that you used to be in coaching programs with. You need to go ahead and just share this link. You could do it in the DMs. We're trying to grow over here, right? So a problem. Yeah, you too. A problem is a gap between your current state and your desired state, plus the resistance that you feel toward closing that gap. That is another that's a little bit of a longer definition. So it's a gap, okay, between your current state and your desired state. And it's also that resistance that you feel towards closing that gap. But a problem only exists. That's why everybody can't identify, I don't have any problems because they don't identify, right? But a problem only comes up and it only exists when you want something different and something is blocking you and you're not ready to remove that block. So you keep the block. And most people, they don't actually quote unquote hate their problems. They hate what solving their problem requires because it's a requirement. These it's some requirements that comes along with solving your problems. YouTube, you sleep? Because Substack was asleep the other day. We gotta understand there are requirements to solve problems, and a lot of us don't want to do that because it requires what? I'm about to probably lose half of y'all after this. Responsibility. Not I, I didn't say accountability. I didn't say accountability. Accountability is to be aware that you have a problem, which is good. But responsibility means that you have to respond. Risk, identity shifts, and the loss of an old perception of your comfort zone. Because some people are just comfortable being in situations where they're uncomfortable. We make as time has went on, I have found that we make more excuses for the problem. And this is why I say, like, you don't have haters. There's no such thing. Oh, they're hating on me, and people just, no, nobody's hating on you. You're doing it yourself. You're doing a pretty doggone good job doing it yourself. I think you're doing pretty well by doing it yourself. And because the people who love their problems more than their pursuit of freedom, you become your biggest op. There's something that comes. There's almost, you call people psychosis, and you're going through all this stuff, and you going through, but it's really the true psychosis is people that love to keep problems and make excuses for them. Because what is the story you telling yourself? And you sit in your own mess trying to make means of it, trying to make it mean something to you. There's nothing deep about keeping your problem. You just need to get rid of it. And now we talk about, oh, it's spiritual. It is. I mean, there's rooted spiritual, because spiritual is tied to your identity, but that's a part of it, because you have to change your identity or the way that you see yourself in order to solve the problem. And a lot of y'all don't want to change who you are. You want to stay in that loser based behavior trend. So, because it requires progress, and progress is improvement, progress is measurable movement towards a chosen direction. Did you hear what I said? A chosen direction. Progress is not about how you feel. It's not about good feelings. I have to feel good about this. That's how I know I'm going in the right direction. No, not all the time. Motivation. It's not motivation. It's not validation from outside yourself. It's not always speed either, because you can speed. And if you're not adapting to the identity that it takes to get to the outcome while you're in movement, you're going to crash. Progress is actually consistency. It's a small proofs of evidence that you're moving into the right direction, which means that people are telling you about the impact that you're making for them. I hear it all the time how a lot of y'all are stuck at creating content. I keep telling y'all, like, I need you to get out of the creating content. I'm planning content. Okay, put it out there so we can move. You taking too long at that planning, and I'm creating, I'm looking up. They don't take that long. I've had several conversations with people. They say, "Well, I'm just taking out the rest of, a couple of months to focus on my offers." I said, why does it take you so long to focus on offers? Do you have people? Why are you creating offers when you ain't got nobody on your list? What are you creating? You don't even know what your people want. You just doing stuff, and then you put it out there. Do you know how many people I have? It took me 6 months to create my offer, and nobody bought it. Of course they didn't. I wouldn't have either. You didn't even ask anybody if they really wanted it. You just created because you wanted to. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're trying to make money and trying to build a business, you have to have people that validate the offer, to validate the offer, not validate you. I mean, you're what are you putting together? Nobody asked for that. Nobody asked for any of that. You're making it up in your head, and you think that that's what people want, and it's not what people need. In fact, right now, I told people if you're not trying to be a practitioner or a researcher or a implementation expert or a practitioner of your craft. Yes, a strategist as well, but most of y'all need to become practitioner because you're practicing and you're strategizing at the same time. If you're not moving in that capacity, what are you doing? Are you improving your capacity? No. Progress is increased clarity. If the gap between goals set and goals accomplished is widening for you, that means we're setting goals faster than we are evolving. That's good. That's good. If you're setting goals faster than you are evolving to be at the accomplished level, then something's off. Because we have to evolve in our identity. We have to evolve in our systems. We have to evolve in our regulation of our emotions. Because the need to execute them, you need to have some initiative. A lot of y'all don't take initiative. Being your biggest hater is actually easier than being your best cheerleader. Did you know that? Where are you going? Who you trying to be when you get there? Because you're still focused on being a doer and a performer rather than somebody who is an expert at what they do. Let's talk about did everybody did everybody get what I said? Everybody catch that? So in going into 2026, okay, going into I didn't say start in 2026. Going into we gotta have some we gotta shift. And we gotta shift faster than a lot of us really understand because see, you know everything. You don't need some of y'all are addicted to knowledge gathering and data gathering that you're not even implementing what you know. And you are trying to find something else to know. And you know everything you need to know. You already know everything. It's the clarity and the structure and the initiative and the commitment to evolving that you are missing. That's all it is. It's just that's what it is. So let's talk about 2026 real quick because I got stuff to do today. I got client stuff to handle, and y'all need to get this because if you don't get it, I don't know what's going to happen to you. Because I've been trying to push y'all for the last I don't know how many years. Some of y'all are not moving, and that's a concern. that's a, that's a concern for me. Okay. People so when we're talking about 2026 digital marketing and digital marketing is a skill set, it's not an industry, it's a skill. Digital marketing includes um, anything that you're doing to market online. Okay, so when you hear people saying I'm getting into digital marketing, that's incorrect. It's just a bunch of people that came together with this low IQ over marketing. What marketing actually is, digital marketing is anything you're marketing online. And this is not a dig to anybody that's selling a course. But digital marketing is a sector of marketing. It's a marketing concept. So in 2026, there's a lot of changes happening. As you know, we've talked about the algorithmic discovery, okay, which means a lot of these platforms are changing. And if I see people online that have been on my lives complain about Instagram and complain about uh TikTok and complain about and I'm gonna say, what have you been listening when you be on my lives? Do you listen? I'm gonna start doing y'all like that. Coach, you right. Stop trying to be in with everybody and be the leader. You don't get no brownie points for blending in with the low vibrational, low frequency people. You know this. Start acting like you know what you're talking about. You don't need a click. You need to lead. Okay? Y'all are leaders. I don't talk to nobody but leaders. Now, if you're not a leader, I don't know what else to tell you. You just coming in on and looking. But everybody I've been talking to and that have been active and trying to get themselves together and moving, that you're a leader. Okay? So 2026, there is an expectation that people will spend a lot of time offline more than before. But this is the thing. They're going to be spending time offline because they're not going to be posting as much. But guess what they will be doing? They will be watching online. So guess what? Like I told you, y'all remember I've been telling you that um your media company? Everybody remember that? Remember how I told y'all media company interest media that, Gary V coined that. And when he said that, it makes so much sense because we're switching from social interactions, and millennials are having the hardest time with this because, and I get it, one of the things about us is that we came up on social media. A lot of us were either in college or graduated from high school, somewhere around there, and we grew up on social media. We grew up on a community-based platform where we shared our wins, we shared marriages, we shared, who's having a baby, and we were excited about sharing our milestones because a lot of people were traveling during that time. You remember? Y'all remember that 2000, what is it? 3 to like 2015, like everybody was kind of doing their thing. It was in growth mode for a very long time. Right? So a lot of the interactions and engagement that we were used to was from most of the people that we knew or that we knew of. And we actually met people through people that we knew. We would go to different events. We would go and we would meet up and our friends would introduce, you know what I'm saying? Like showing our plates. And yeah, Tiana, she said posting every meal on Instagram, right? Posting where we are, posting our trips. We didn't have to worry about people popping up on us and being weird, right? We didn't have to worry about that. Good morning, everybody on TikTok. I mean, not TikTok. What is this? YouTube. Everybody coming on. Ooh, excuse me, y'all. Burping. That was rude. Um, and so we grew up with that validation. Okay. We grew up with people liking our posts and um conversations and commenting and being kind in so many ways, right? We were the generation of kumbaya. And we were the last generation, let us tell it. We were the last generation, especially the elder millennials, to be the ones outside. Like we had a recess, we had playing time, we had all these things, and we also were the last generation really to experience a real club scene because we knew how to party. That's why I tell people the reason why I'm boring now, baby, because from the era of 2000 to 2007, shh, baby, Coach was outside. Do you hear me? And then I had some outside moments in between these divorces, But because baby, when I tell you I was outside, I said 2000 and 2007. Don't owe me a thing because I was outside. I was focused. I graduated college in exactly 4 years. I was a nerd, but baby, it was plenty of times I would show up to class, 8 o'clock class with them shades on, looking bug eyed, like I'm trying to concentrate on being alive. Okay, okay. So now, like, Coach, you do you going to wear it, girl? I'm tired. We had good fun. Good fun, good clean well, anyone always okay. Anyway, so my point is that our generation was really the last generation that really just had the social community and all of these things, right? So we're in a different time. So millennials, you're gonna have to adjust because a lot of y'all have still have not adjusted. And I think that's the thing is that you are set on wanting that same interaction. And that's not happening. Because guess who's up? Gen X. I mean Gen Z. Okay. Gen Z is very, very different. This is why y'all frustrated with them a little bit. I think they're absolutely fascinating. And I have a Gen Z daughter. So she's 17. And I watch and I listen to how they interact and I watch, listen to her friends and how they interact. And it's very interesting when they talk about what they like, right? They're very whimsical generation. They're very dreamy. They're dreamy, right? Because they look at our era and they kind of get a little resentful because they feel like they didn't get that same opportunity. They came in on the maturation of social media. Does this make sense? So they're coming in on what we built. It's just that what we built is they don't like because they feel like we didn't get that same opportunity. So it's built on resent. So the way that they are actually responding is a collective resentment in so many ways, and I don't blame them. And I know that sounds like Gen Z, but not. No, that's not really it. That's not really it. It kind of is because you don't like celebrities. We made celebrities pretty much. Okay, we took celebrities to another level. That's really what we did, right? And we turned celebrity life into a lifestyle. Like we saw celebrities that we liked, and we kind of allowed them to set the trend on dress and fashion and all that kind of stuff. I'm talking about to the next level where we adopted aesthetics. Does that make sense? So like the 2000 era where the girlies, the Jay-Z girlies, the that whole video era, MTV era where everybody was, wearing the baggy pants and the cute tight shirts and, the thin eyebrows and the lip liner. Like, we would look at the video vixens and be like, period. So nowadays, right? Nowadays, we are looking at things from a completely different lens than before, and we have to do that. Tanika said, "No lies, the early 2000s was a time to be had. It don't owe me anything." I always tell people that that era does not owe me anything. It does not. I don't feel like I lost anything. I just wish that I would have really, really went in, but that's okay because I did go in quite a bit. It was a time. Okay. Now here we go. They're going to spend time offline. The posting is not going to be as much as what we are used to. So millennials, I'm gonna tell you this. Those who are in 35 and up, you need to get ready for legacy content. You need to get ready for that. Your legacy is going to be mostly digital. Now I'm gonna read some notes to you so y'all can understand what I'm saying. I'm gonna post this on the podcast too. Digital Lead Her podcast is also up on Apple Podcasts. So if you don't look at my YouTube and you want to just listen where you're on, like on the way to wherever you going to and you driving or you working out, subscribe to the podcast and leave a review, y'all, please, on Apple Podcast, Spotify, etc. Okay, here we go. While internet usage remains very high, especially with more than 6 billion people online, there is a rising trend amongst Gen Z where they're going to be doing quote unquote digital detoxes, okay? Particularly among generations of Gen Alpha and Gen Z. These brands, these corporations, these businesses are molding their plans and their strategies from Gen Z's lens. People don't like that. They don't like to talk about that. They think it's, ugh, but they just get on my nerves. I know, but that's where we are. And this is why even this is why your like the generation before you, like some of y'all going no contact with your parents and all that. The way you acting is exactly the way you're treating Gen Z and younger. You need to be careful of that. Because a lot of y'all are doing the same thing that your mamas and daddies did to you. And Gen Z don't play. Like they're really detached. They have social media now. They can talk about you real bad, and they don't mind getting online and talking about their mamas and daddies. Have you seen? Have you seen what they have? Baby, they don't mind telling you that they mad. They don't mind telling millions and millions of people that they mad at their mom and daddy. And I'm not saying millennials are not doing it too, because millennials are doing that for sure. They're talking about how they're going on contact and all these other things, but Gen Z really don't care. They really don't care about your feelings either. Okay, so here we go. But Gen Z is they're prioritizing their mental wellness, which is very, very important to think about because they're reducing their screen time and engaging more in outdoor activities, which is completely fine. I think that's good. But they're living their life online to share with their close groups. So that's why I told y'all. You remember I told y'all like communities and stuff like that, like being in community, being in offline communities, that is going to grow. This is why I've been trying to tell y'all everything is going algorithmic discovery because it's mimicking TV networks and channels, right? So TV networks, telecommunication, they're moving it on a digital scale. So all of these like Google, Meta, TikTok, X, right? They are considered, if you can think about it, like equivalent to Comcast, equivalent to AT&T, equivalent to, Charter Communications, etc. Now, the TV networks are your specificity in what is that? Facebook is a TV network, media network. Okay. This is what things are turning to. You Substack, okay. What threads? So you have combinations of written and media, right? Video, short form and long form. Everybody with me? Does this make sense? Are we tracking? Are you understanding? Are you getting this? Does this make sense? So offline will be the new online. But the thing is that people think that, oh, they're gonna go away, they're gonna leave social media. They're not leaving social media. They're becoming the watchers. Do you remember me telling y'all that you are going to be measured by more views? Because I've been saying this since last year. You remember we talked about this. We've been talking about this. It's gonna be measured by views. But it messes with our generation because our generation, we like engagement. They won't follow. They won't follow me, and I don't understand why they don't follow. They're not gonna follow you. Gen Z don't follow people. We do because we're still thinking family. Look, we still think everything is kumbaya and everybody should like us. I need millennials to understand the difference between likability and respectability now. You're not after being liked. Nobody cares. This is not about likability. This is about respect. That's an adjustment for millennials. Because we've always the you remember I did like no like and trust. No is no respect, trust, and then monetize. Because people can trust you and not pay you because they don't see the value in paying you yet because they're not there, you know. But for them to want to learn and to implement principles, they're going to purchase. Change Forward said Gen Z is straight Wednesday Adams with it. Yes. That's a very good analogy, by the way. Wednesday Adams. Yes. I love me some Wednesday. Um, but this is also the piece I want to add to. So when we talk about authenticity, right? Because that word gets shaken around a lot. Authenticity. I want to be authentic. But authentic is just you. I'm authentic. I'm authentic. I don't share a lot about my life because my life, like I tell people, I have a very boring life. So, I mean, I'm not gonna, lifestyle marketing is not my thing. But lifestyle marketing was something that the millennials enjoyed because we were the generation that went to college. We were the first generation to actually experience freedom of both genders. Like women could go to college and choose marriage if they wanted to, choose the rich auntie life, whatever, 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 right? But Gen Z, however, is they came up on the maturation of social media and they're ready to like, I'm tired. I just want to go to movies and, make TikToks and save them in drafts. They do that a lot too, which I never understood. I'm like, why don't you just post it? No, I want to save it. They don't post their TikToks. They just make them and they hold them. It's the craziest thing. And then they send them to each other. They send them to each other and it be in their little close friends group. And they make multiple accounts. I've seen it too. They make accounts where they spy on people, look at people, watch people without disclosure of who they are. It's a very weird dynamic, but that's what they do. But they are more into watching. They're watchers, okay? They watch content, but as time goes, they're going to be listening to not only people that entertain them, because they're very entertainment driven. They really are not into the a lot of the what is it called? They're not really into a whole lot of personal and professional development. They're not. Um, they're more so into just entertainment and emotional resonance. It has to whatever you're saying has to emotionally like it has to resonate with them on a feeling level because Gen Z is an emotional generation. But on a side of critical, we are more so emotional resonant on people that makes us feel good. It makes us feel like we're included. So you will see consumers that will continue to prefer online experiences and always on that private connection side. So DMs, Circle. That's why Circle in school and Telegram, WhatsApp, um, Discord. What's the other one? Patreon. This is why they're having a good time right now because everything is being captured offline. Now, here we go. Here we go. So, the offline living is coming up as a deliberate choice for mental health and authentic experiences. But this is where it kind of comes into play when we're talking about offers, services, and things like that. Now, this is if you're in the space of like, I'm not catering to them, you may want to rethink that. You may want to rethink that. I think you should have a multiple tier offer, but people are going to fight back on that. I think you should have low and high ticket. But if you are a low ticket girly, you're going to have to get the volume up. Okay, you're gonna have to and there's nothing wrong with like low ticket. I tell people like if you wanna do the $97 and $200 and the 27, do it. Do it. You just have to have the capacity to deal with that type of mentality. This is why I told people like you have to get the volume up because you need more people coming into your funnel because lower ticket means more emotion is involved. Okay? It's based on emotion and right now problems that need to be solved. It don't need to be long form. It needs to be very short form, which means what? So now algorithm discovery is about discovering. People need to discover you. So this dynamic in younger generations, let me go back to this. Younger generations, while unplugging purposefully from posting, still spend a significant amount of time watching videos online, suggesting a living offline but watching online cultural pattern. This is going into next year. This is why I've been telling you media companies. This is why also video podcasts are becoming really popular. Okay. This is why TikTok is becoming popular. This is why TikTok shop and TikTok shop videos are becoming popular. This is why Facebook is trying to position itself to be a media giant to compete with TikTok. This is why Instagram is having a hard time too, because Instagram is aesthetic. It's always been an aesthetic social media platform. And I don't know, Instagram's still trying to figure it out, but it's kind of crazy because people love the aesthetics over there. So your Kim Kardashians, your Beyonce, your celebrities, they are bodying Instagram. They love Instagram. But Gen Z, they love Instagram too, but they're not posting like that. But they love them some TikTok. And look, Gen Alpha, which is my nieces and nephews, my nieces and nephews that are, third, fourth grade. I have a niece and a nephew that are both 2. They're a month apart and they're bad. One of them called me last time. My niece called me last night. She's 2. And she said, "Do you like my Christmas tree?" And I said, "Yes, I do. I think it's perfect." And she said, "Thank you." 2. They're talking really well. They know how to scroll. You give them a phone and they know how to swipe and they know how to, they're just Courtney says 7th graders are the oldest Gen Alpha. So Gen Alpha's in middle school, right? You know what? I wouldn't say that they're well. You're definitely entitled to your opinion, Tiana. I think that's funny because I think that they're just they too smart for their own good, baby. They are smart, but they are combo. They love being outside. They like going outside. They like playing outside. I don't think Z's really just cared about being outside. Gen Alpha definitely loves to be outside, but companies are starting to cater to them too. Gen Alpha is just going to tell you that something's wrong. I don't agree. I don't like that. My third grade nephew, nephew that's in the third grade, he loves checkers. He wants. I want to learn how to play chess, TJ. I said, okay. I said, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be an attorney. Okay, not attorney. He was reading at this age of 2, by the way, reading 3-syllable words. Scared us to death. They love going outside. They're very social. And it's funny how generations are kind of in cyclic behavior. But businesses and organizations are going to set up for the next generation. Not X, was the boomers on their way out. Boomers are on their way out of here, baby. Boomers are keeping people like Country Wayne going. So Country Wayne, I'm pretty sure he's gonna have to adjust too, because he don't do nothing but long form content on his page. Y'all know I love Mr. Country Wayne. I don't watch his stuff, but I love his mentality, right? So a lot of people have to conform a little bit the to the environment. T Marie said, she said, Ash Marie, hey girl. And she said they love scrolling and YouTube too. Yes, and you know what? They love YouTube shorts. They love YouTube shorts. It's very interesting. Mm-hmm. Change Forward says some people are saying that Gen Alphas are the new boomers. Yeah, I've heard that too. I've heard that too. Change Forward said, "Oh yeah, they like being outside. They like being social. Middle school ones like the mall too. Yep." Tiana said, "Very self assured and they're curious. Yes, they are. They're very much so. Very inquisitive. Um, so the TikTokification is on purpose because millennials listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. Buyer behavior is depending on narratives, okay, and messaging that you believe. So, because millennials are the generation who's the most in debt, right? The most in debt, they're most, and I'm talking about from a student loan perspective. They're the careers, they're the last ones to really hold careers for a long period of time. But then they also were the first generation to really do 2 to 3 years in each career, and now it's like a year now. And then now it's like entrepreneurship, like a lot of millennials like bump it, we're just gonna be entrepreneurs. They are anticipating like millennials are gonna be focusing more on parenting. So if you are in the parent space, I know Lori, you talked about inner parent, which I think millennials have a hard time with um forgiving themselves of the past. Millennials are also focused on um nostalgia. We're not honoring the present and moving forward in the future. We love the past. We feel very comfortable going through old data. So average daily time spent on these apps, on social media platforms has stabilized or even decreased marginally, with users opting for more intentional, limited engagement rather than continuous posting on and scrolling. Let me insert this commercial moment. Two things. If you are interested in joining the Soul Stacker Writing Intensive, let me know. We just started yesterday. It was a wonderful class. The first replay of that class is being uploaded into our portals today. So it is 6 weeks. So if you want to join, you still have time. I will send you the information. You can learn more about it. It's basically about how to grow your monetizable community. Okay. And learning how to put messaging and clarity around your content so that you are being an authority and a leader and finding that. So that's very, very key in these times, especially as we are the leads. And I told y'all that some of y'all are the great mothers and the great fathers of these generations. Okay. Cause like I said, Gen X, they're not talking a lot, they're here, there, and everywhere. They're the quiet generation. Um, emotionless too, you know. But millennials, you're the new mother and fathers. Okay. You're the mother and father, you're the new parents of the upcoming generations. So a lot of Gen Z are what they did not get from their parents, because a lot of them are still parented by Gen X and the older millennials. You're going to probably want to start positioning yourself for legacy based content. Okay. So if you're interested, let me know. And then the next thing is I have the 2026 Biz Boss Babe bundle that's $20.26 that is on my Stan store. So make sure you grab that. Substack is on my actual profile. If you want to grab the link there, and then of course, YouTube, the link is in my description box up under this video. So just think about it because you need to get yourself ready. Okay. And I'm looking at people looking at the videos, which I'm very happy about because I can see when people look. I have software where I can see. It's called Loom, LOOM.com. So I'm notified when people watch videos. So if I don't see people watch video, I'm like, they ain't looking. Ain't nobody even checking for, but they've been looking this time. I don't know what's going on, but they've been y'all been opening up them emails. Okay, so back to our content. And we're getting ready to wrap up. So the time spent on digital media, especially videos streaming. So gaming, as we know, remains high and it's going to grow. So Twitch is having a good time. So if you have children that love gaming, get their booties on Twitch. And then also YouTube. You know, they can put their gaming and all of that on YouTube because these children love some YouTube and the shorts. Like I told you, they will sit and watch people. I told a relative of mine that had small children. She was like, I need to start them a YouTube channel. I said, they look at YouTube all day. Why not start them a channel? And you don't have to show their face. You can just show their hands playing with toys. So you know that there's children that are like, and then when I tell people that, they just like, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's going back to problems. Like it literally, you have a phone. It's so simple. Like just set the phone up and let your children play for an hour and slap it on YouTube. These children will eat it up. YouTube Shorts, they will eat it up. Coloring, something as simple as coloring. My nephew will watch people color. I mean, yeah. There are people that love, like, they will watch people color. There are people that will watch you sleep. Do you not know that? They will watch you sleep. I've seen it with my own eyes. I told you on TikTok that girl that was snoring on that live video, she was snoring like it was a real video and it wasn't AI. She was asleep. And those coins were lighting up. And here we are getting online. And I'm like teaching my booty off. And it's like people are not giving no coins. Baby, they were giving the coins. Okay. Even cooking. Like I admire even women that get online on live stream and cook. That's all they're doing. They ain't even got to tell you what they're cooking. They're just cooking. I forgot there was this lady that she's a very attractive lady. I think she's Russian. Um, and she's basically just walking through her house. She goes and cooks and she watches TV. People just watch her watch TV. This woman has a tripod and she just probably has them all over her house and she just literally streams and just lives and people eat it up. Do you not understand that this is the creator economy? Courtney, be quiet. And here I am sleeping for free. And I'm just people are watching this stuff. I told y'all this I'm not like y'all are seeing this. Just that's why I told y'all start paying attention to this stuff. And stop looking at it from a critic Cameron. You stop looking at it from a critic standpoint and look at it from a researcher standpoint. Like this is and I'm not saying do this yourself. I'm not saying to do it. But it also is about, like, understanding the times that we're in is different. I wouldn't dare be sitting for hours and watching people go to sleep. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't. Definitely Truman Show, actually, yeah. So you have to remember this is where we are. This is where we at. So there's a behavioral shift over the posting, digital broadcasting, but then if you're going to be writing, right? So you have to start looking at short form writing and also long form writing, moving people into another space. This is real talk. So 2026, you're going to have to understand that they are trying to market to this new market where it's different. TikTok got it on lock. TikTok has been the foundation of the reason why a lot of people are moving, right? And they're shifting. So we want Instagram to go back. We're like, oh, Instagram, but it's not good for advertising dollars. It's just not. It's not. So even Facebook feeds shift to include more content from pages and profiles. And users do not reflect, that at first they want to reflect in that interest-based algorithm. Everything is going interest-based. So even if you feel a slowdown is happening with your subscribers, like even with Substack, there's a slowdown with subscribers. But when there's a slowdown in growth, I automatically know that they're reworking the algorithm. That's what they're doing. A lot of when you experience slow growth, because when it's explosive and people just join and subscribe, that's usually indication that the algorithm has retrained or reworked. But if you're seeing a slowdown, that means that there is an algorithm shift. So, like on Facebook, I'm getting followers every single day on Facebook. Subscribers are picking up on Substack. This is the truth. It has slowed down here on YouTube. My watch time has went up, but subscribers have slowed down over there. You see, because you have to look at the numbers, you have to look at the growth, right? So Gen Z is the foundation. So I even anticipate followers going away. I think that's when millennials really gonna crash out. They're gonna crash out for real. Um, I believe followers are gonna go away. I do. I do feel like we're gonna wake up and you're gonna be like, where are my followers? Where they at? They're gone. And I think that's when they're gonna have a complete meltdown. We're gonna see millennials in a completely different and Gen Z is not even care. They're just gonna keep on so because they're not interested in following you. They're interested in what you're saying. They don't follow the content creator, they follow the content. They're very humble uh pushers. They will push you to be humble, baby. They'll be like, mm-mm, I'm not following her. But I like it. Or I'll just save it. Sometimes they don't even like it, they just save it. They are definitely the new foundation. So while millennials crash out, because they're going to make a whole lot of think pieces about followers and this is what they want to do, and it's all wrong because they don't know business. All these platforms are business entities, just like Substack. People are mad. People are going to leave Substack. People are going to leave Substack, but there's going to be a whole lot of people to come on. People gonna be leaving YouTube, and there's gonna be a whole lot of people come on. It's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna leave Facebook, and there's gonna be a whole lot of people to come on. Facebook is really, really trying to reel in Gen Z. Bad. Mm-hmm. Courtney. It's very interesting. And a lot of people are not gonna listen to the adjustment that is necessary. Because I told them, I said, Gen Z will buy. They will buy. They will buy, but they will buy lower ticket to get to know you first, especially the older, obviously the older Z's. They will buy to learn if they like what you're saying. And this is why you got to show your face a little bit more often. Because if you show your face a little more often, they have a little bit more trust. And because they already think everybody's a scammer, they're looking for something to be wrong with you. Millennials look at the best. We look at you and say, "Oh, I just love her. Like I just love her." Da 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 da. Like we like being people's aunties. We like being people's sis and all that kind of stuff. Mm-mm. Millennials, you gotta let that go too. Stop being people's aunties. Like just stop. Everybody's not your. You gotta stop that. Familiarity breeds contempt. Because if you're everybody's relative, nobody's gonna pay you. They don't. I don't. People don't pay their aunties like that. So you need to be careful. Everybody don't respect that. And when I say the mothers and the fathers, I'm talking about the energy. I'm not talking about like I'm mom. I'm like their mom. Shut your mouth. Be a leader, but you still need to put that link up. This is not. Don't do that to yourself. That's why I tell people don't call me auntie. I know I give that energy, but I have nieces and nephews. Just stop. That's what I told people. I posted on Facebook. I said the reason why people are not opting into your email list and buying anything is because you call everybody my sweet babies. And that's the truth because nobody, like, if you're being Mother Goose, there's no reason to pay you. I just need somebody that's going to be like a mom to me that could just get on the phone and emotionally dump. That's another thing about Gen Z. They're going to need a lot of therapy because their emotions are not really going anywhere. See, millennials can get online and they can throw up online about this is bothering me because y'all emotions are being pushed through internet. You're using the internet for your energetic and emotional dumping instead of learning how to process yourself, learning how to take care of yourself, learning how to master your emotions. Right. So that's also an issue that millennials have to do. And it is even showing up on your content because you're sick of everything and you're not promoting anything. And then you think you're in a false competition with people and nobody's in competition with you. There's room to eat. And there's more than one way. You got to understand it too. Your way ain't the only way. I don't do that. Well, okay, but you ain't got to do it. I'm not talking to you. Understand it by context. That's another thing too. And we have to also stop with trying to be included in everybody's conversation and posts. Well, I don't think that's right. I'm not talking to you. It's the truth. We have an issue with that. Implied context means listening to who is being addressed. That's why I said that whole English grammar situation, reading comprehension, there a lot of people skip that. Stop pushing your beliefs on people and just post and let the ones come in. You just want everybody to agree with you. You doggone skippy I do. Why wouldn't I? Go find somebody that you agree with. That's the craziest thing. You want everybody to agree with you. Absolutely. Duh. That's why I create content. That's why I create community. I mean, why would you want to join a community that you disagree with everybody in? You're gonna be all ball out. And you're gonna be wanting to fight everybody because you're in the wrong room. Go to the room where all of your ideas are accepted. Duh. But see, that's a part of it. And millennials, we have to start learning how to lead ourselves and stop the parasocial relationships and also um the need to be in spaces even if you are not even if you're not comfortable. Like you will put yourselves intentionally in spaces where you are mad and triggered all the time. This is why the algorithm, you have to train the algorithm to keep you in a space of progress and movement and development. The algorithm is going to mess with you because you're used to a different algorithm. You're used to being shown things that you actually like. And now that your algorithm is showing you things that are a mixture, you don't know how to lead yourself and tell yourself, like, I don't need to see this, so I need to block this because the algorithm is showing you what it wants you to know and also the pattern of what you have watched before, even if you didn't like it. This is why they're not showing you your friends and family. This is why your friends are in a completely different tab. This is why your friends and family are on a completely different, like they don't even see your content half the time. Look at your analytics. Look at how many people on your this when your content shows up on a For You page. Look at those posts and look at the percentage of how many people looked at your posts. And look at the feed if it says For You page or feed or non-followers. And your followers was this much, it's letting you know what's happening. That's why I told y'all I wouldn't be surprised if followers go away. So you're gonna have to learn how to adjust. You're gonna have to learn how to adjust. It's not the same. We're not going back. I'm sorry. We're not. Gen Z favors short form videos and authentic, immersive content and is increasingly using, listen to what I'm saying to y'all. Listen to what I'm saying. They're they're increasingly using social platforms for entertainment, product discovery, and direct purchasing through social commerce features. This is why when I heard somebody say that Z's are going to be, in the malls a lot and all the kinds, I'm like, no, they ain't gonna be in the malls like that because the malls are dead. Like the malls are, they're going to be doing a lot of online shopping. They're going to be doing TikTok live shopping, HSN, QVC, but on TikTok, which is already happening. If you see celebrities, they've been posting, they've been doing live shopping. I remember Nicki Minaj did her her makeup line. I forgot what it was, but this was a year or two ago. I think it was like 2 years ago. And she just tickled me so because she had the most liked live shopping stream ever on TikTok up to that point. But there are people that's making money online because they're staying online for hours. Case in point, I'm about to give you this right here. Even me doing this, I want you to peep game. Even me doing this live stream, I can treat this like the morning show or like CBS morning. You know how they go live or they are on for 3, 4 hours and then they're done with the morning. Or you go on other live shows and or TV shows like CBS News and they're on for like from like 7 in the morning to like 9:30 or something like that. I could do the same thing if I wanted to. Long and that's long form content. So what is this what can I how can I so number 1, I'm rolling with content, right? So the watchability. And then also too, this is content that when I don't feel like it, because there's gonna be times in the month where I'm not gonna feel like it. I'm not gonna feel like getting up or I get sick or something like that too. Radio shows, yep, Courtney. Guess what? I can take clips, which is what Substack is gonna help me with because that's why I came on camera today. Because I'm in my luteal phase, and I already know that luteal phase, I'm gonna be back and back a little bit. And yeah, I know my body very well. So I have short form content that's going to be going on and on and on. I can post in different places. So is it very important that you start thinking about yourself and how you represent your business in the world? This is marketing still. And the longer that you're on, guess what? You're going to have people that's going to get off, and then you're going to have new people that's going to come on. And they're going to see different interactions, and they're gonna say, "Oh, what she's talking about? Oh, she's been on live for an hour? Who is that?" And they're gonna listen in, and they're gonna catch whatever I'm saying mid-entry and decide if they wanna stay or go. Because guess what? The algorithm pushes it out longer because what? You're keeping people on the platform. So I'm helping YouTube and Substack, and they're gonna continue to push, push, push. Same thing for you. And I want you to catch the lesson instead of like people will get like feeling. This is all training. You're learning. This is learning for you. This is training ground. A lot of y'all don't understand that. Like, yeah, you post content. I'm proud of you. But that's what I told you. Content is and I told the soul stackers yesterday, content is a full time job. If you don't have any clients, if you don't have any people paying you, what is your excuse? What else are you doing? All you need to be doing right now is focus on marketing and showing your face and getting content out there. Because what else is more important? What are you doing? What else is more important right now? You're taking B-roll? What are you doing? I'm just taking a break. A break from what? You haven't done anything. That's all when I hear people say, I'm taking a break, I'm just taking some time. Doing what? What are you taking a break from? You haven't done anything. You have to take a break from a thing. You haven't, what are you taking a break from? Just like you freedom. What are you free from? Not freedom to do. Free from what? Anyway, so platforms are focusing heavy on views, engagement metrics, content recommendations to optimize user time on sites. You lost audio. Go out and come back in. Oh, she probably can't hear that. Can y'all hear me? Substack, can you hear me? Substack, can y'all hear me? Give me a yes if you can hear me. Um, can y'all hear me on YouTube? Okay. Um, so the priority is on content formats that maximize interaction, like short form video, interactive posts, and personalized content feeds in so many ways. So advertisers benefit from this engagement driven focus as platforms expand to direct to consumer sales compatibility and social commerce while exploring growth in new markets globally. Did you hear what I said? What I've been telling y'all all this time. Globally. They're not just doing United States anymore. Meta is trying to go global. TikTok is trying to go global. Everybody's going global. What did I tell y'all too? We're going to America is positioning itself to be the media capital. Culturally, um, culturally, the West, America specifically, is media centric. Did you hear about Mr. Beast that signed a contract with the Rockefeller Institute? Did y'all know that? That boy done got so popular that the institutions have signed him on. Listen to what I just said. That's how much influence he has. And I don't know what's the details of that. And I don't know if he was pressured into it. And people are like, what? Mr. Beast did what? That boy got that much influence. So there is a price to pay. The bigger you get, the more influence you have. And I think that there is a beautiful line between being company and business sponsored because now you are affecting institutions. But if you are staying at a space like I love, like how Shira does her content, like she's very like, I'm still in my house. I sometimes go live in my car. I still go live, in my little office that I didn't create it. And that's what she does. YouTube, y'all up? Give me some hearts if you're still up. Um, like she's still when you start getting too big and you start getting the advertising dollars and you start to really get into the corporate space of brand deals and you get more and more into that than you do and getting away from the consumer, I think sometimes you're going into a different territory that you may not be able to wiggle your way out of. That's another thing too. But I thought that was very interesting that he signed on with the Rockefeller Institute. I found that out yesterday. So this is telling you a lot of things. Media is now on platforms. It's now on platforms. This is why even Tubi, Netflix, and some of these other networks are paying attention to content creators now more than ever than before. It's different these days. So monetization, and this is another thing too. I know everybody's trying to be monetized. I get it. I understand. But if you cannot get monetized on these platforms, you better have something monetizable. You need to have a course or something that you can sell. And I can't help you with that unless if you want to book a one on one with me or get into Soul Stacker, I'll be able to help you with that. But until then, you need something to sell. You need something to sell. So the end game of all of this, right? The end game of all of this is it shifts to maximize platform engagement and revenue. Global, 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 global markets. In fact, let me do this. Let me look this up real quick because I want to know while I'm on here. Might as well. Real time research. Real time research. Very good. Very good. Oof. Okay. This is good. Okay. What global markets are they trying to tap into, y'all? Y'all ready to hear this? Social platforms or interest media platforms are aggressively targeting and targeting emerging and dynamic global markets, especially in what I tell y'all, Soul Sackers, y'all, this is Southeast Asia, like Asia Pacific, Latin America, and you remember I told y'all Africa. Africa. Told y'all middle class is going into Africa. That's why you see Walmart going over there. A lot of corporations from America are going over there. I need you to hear me with everything in your body. With Medicare stopping, there's a potential that is happening, right? Medicare is going to stop. A lot of old people, boomers, are coming up. A lot of boomers, they're on their way out. This is the biggest generation. They have the most wealth. They're trying to bankrupt the future, us, because we are the inheritance, the heirs of our parents that have the wealth, right? So their wealth is in houses, land, retirement accounts, all of that. They're trying to bankrupt millennials on down. This is and guess what? Familial law, matriarchs. You remember we used to talk about that. Familial law is in a lot of states right now. So y'all don't. Some of y'all saying I'm going to contact with my parents. I don't like my parents. I don't talk to them. You're gonna get rich. You have to. You don't have a choice. I want you to listen to what I just said again. You don't have a choice. I don't care if you talk to your mama or not. The law says you are still financially obligated to your parents. Oh, I ain't know that. Hospital bills. Hmm. And then you're also trying to live the soft life and trying to build up a legacy for your own children. You don't have a choice. I don't care. You need to look up where it's at because Tennessee already, I accepted that years ago. And I'm the oldest daughter. There's 10, 12 years in between me and my siblings. I'm it. Which means on the business side, I'm gonna have to take care of stuff. My sisters just get to reap the benefits of my labor because we have to split it in three. And you're over there sitting and overthinking about planning content and what system you need to use. You need to know, or it just you need to make it happen. You don't. That's it. You don't. You. That's it. Make a choice, make a decision, and let's move. You don't. You don't. You're responsible, and then you have to worry about your own retirement. How you ain't got nothing. You got to retire off. Let me say it like this: you don't have enough because whatever you got, it ain't enough. Y'all got to get out of this healing phase that you're holding on to. Unless you're talking about your body healing, you find like other than that, other than your body actually healing, you need to come on. But if your body is healing and you're like, well, let me get my body straight because you need your body, obviously. It's a machine. You need to, but you are going to be responsible, whether you like your family or not, because they already knew. So you're going to have to get proactive and stop jaw jacking. See, Substack got quiet. Savon said, I already accepted it as a daughter, but I did not know there was a law. You got to look at your state. Look at your state. Look at your states. Look at familial law states. Look and see if your state is there and your parents. There was somebody did a TikTok video yesterday about this, and Oprah just did a special about how a lot of parents in our generations, Gen Z and um millennials are going on contact with their parents. And she just did a special about that. I've been talking about it for 2 years because I told people I was like, y'all know you gotta get rich because of Lillian law. Like you have to. You don't have no money, you know. You're gonna have to take care of your family. Cause so all of y'all that's talking about I wanna travel, I wanna live this. Are you gonna hire a nurse? Private care? Hmm? You gonna hire private care? You know how much that's gonna be? Have you taken account of how much it is for long-term care for yourself? Long-term care insurance? I don't want my children to feel like they have to take care of me. That's why people will say that, well, your children are supposed to take care of you. That's why people have children because they want them to take care of them when they get older. She said, I know my siblings won't mind taking care of our parents, but they may not have the money. I've got to give respect. That's what I'm saying. But even like, no one needs to have the burden. Like, you want to visit your parents. You don't want to be hand and foot because you resent because your life stops. I'm looking at it in real time. My grandmother has dementia, and my sisters my sisters. Oh my gosh, my aunts and my mom. They all have to take turns. Their life stops. So all the things that they want to do, they have to take shifts because they didn't build up. Or my grandmother didn't build up. My grandfather left unexpectedly. My grandmother had to pay for the funeral because she had, and my grandmother always had money. As Savant said, I live a child for your life. And see, if you're childless, ooh, if you're childless, you really gonna have to get up because you have like you can't depend on like living with people and all of this. You have to pay for your own long term care insurance. You have to pay. You need to like start looking at that. And long term care insurance is not affordable. It is, baby. And you want to first of all you got to plan your own funeral because who's gonna do that for you? You have to have money up front, pay that off. See, y'all don't think about all this stuff. All you think about is travel and girl, I want this purse. I look at the long game. This is why I show up like I show up because I know it's bigger than this. It's bigger than me making sure that I got all the lashes and I have on all the Gucci stuff. I don't care about none of that. I care about retirement. I care about living my life. I don't want my daughter to have to feel like she is obligated to take care of me, and people will tell you that, "Oh, but Maddie is supposed to." No, she's not. Maddie deserves to have her own life too, just like you did. Are you kidding me? You need to have some consultations with some financial advisors and some agents, and you need to start locking in. And if y'all's husbands, if you're married and you got a spouse talking about it, because spouses, they be like, "Oh, my wife gonna take care of me." What if you're ill? What's gonna happen with you? Because see, y'all think that the husband's gonna always get sick fast. What if you get sick first? What's gonna happen to you? And you know the statistics with husbands, they leave their wives. I'm not saying yours will, but you don't know what these husbands gonna do if you get sick. They can't live without you. Someone can't live without you. They're depending on you to help them put toothpaste on their toothbrush. You got work to do. Now see, you see how I'm talking like this? You see, you understand because see y'all don't think about that. You think about soft life. You think about, hashtags and digital products. And no, I need you to put this stuff out there because you have stuff that's coming up. And if you're in your 40s, you don't need to be thinking about nothing but focus and discipline and putting stuff out there. If you're in your late 30s, you got a small window. Sean said, but my mom expects my bro and I to take care of her. Granted, we've accepted it. But see, that's what I'm saying. If you don't want to be physically there to what I'm not credentialed to do that. I told people like I didn't go to nursing school. I'm not wiping behinds. I don't what? I don't do that. That's not my ministry. That's so if y'all want to do that, accept that. But I pay for help. I pay for help. Like I don't wipe behinds. I don't go back and forth to the doctor all the time. Like I'll go with you, but I need to be living my life. But see, that's the point. That's the whole point. Get this stuff up and rolling. And so for some of y'all, the increase in price and inflation, you ain't see this is just the tip. They're projected to skyrocket stuff within the next 2 to 3 years. They're trying to bankrupt your future. I'm telling you. It don't matter who's in office, they were gonna do this anyway. And I know y'all, some of y'all get irritated when I say, when people say like it didn't matter who's in office. I'm telling you, it's both sides of the same coin. And see, y'all there, I'm telling you, life insurance would do part. And what happens if they go away? Sean? What if your mother lapses in that? Sometime it will lapse. That's what I said. I love my parents. I just don't want to wipe them. Who wants to do that? Like there's, like my mom and my dad, they're the same age, but there's no guarantee that my mom is gonna I mean, yeah, my mom's gonna outlive my father. My mom may go before. I really gotta get rich. There you go. She said no bro and I are covering that. She said she's not even thinking about that. That's why I said like you gotta get some insurance on your parents. Y'all gotta get insurance on your own parents. A lot of them are not thinking about that. They're worried about it. They're just not thinking about themselves. They're thinking about, I want my children to take care of me. You got to start thinking. This is about not looking the part. This is about being. You got to get ahead of this stuff. Everything right now, 2x. Every day, you need to be making sales. See, we're on that kind of timeline. Some of y'all don't have time to learn high ticket. Like, I'm not being funny. Some of y'all don't have time to learn high ticket. Some of y'all don't have the energetic bandwidth. So you need to put digital products up and you need to do investigation and research on what your people need. You have AI. You need to get on the ball. You ignore the haters, ignore the people online that's being negative. You just go right on past them because they're just miserable and some of them are bots. A lot of these people that's spewing out online are just bots. Please believe. So you're gonna have to start thinking. In your 40s, if you talk about travel, I'm just ready to travel. No, you're not. You're not going nowhere if your business is not handled. I don't care how much you wanna, take the aesthetic pictures in Indonesia and all this other stuff. You're not going anywhere if your stuff ain't straight. Handle your business. Take care of your business. Get your foundation set. Get some cash flow coming in. And stop thinking about, "I don't wanna burn out." You're thinking about stuff that hasn't even happened because you're making up stories in your head. I'm not, I'm so scared of being seen. Okay, do you wanna you scared of being seen or you scared of being broke? One of them it's gotta outweigh the other. I'm scared of being broke more than scared of being seen. And then plus, who gonna beat me up? Nobody. Nobody's gonna get you. Nobody's gonna get you, I promise you. Nobody's gonna get you. It's showing up. It's building as you go. You're not gonna have a full house on the first 90 days. You have to build that up. So anyway, what time is it? Time for me to get off of here. Um, y'all need to like get busy. You don't have a choice. And if you look like me, brown, the algorithm is probably um a little against you a little bit. I'm not trying to call racism. I'm not trying to call I ain't trying to pro that. But you already know we gotta go a little bit more because of some bias against us. That's not an excuse though. Well, they don't like I don't care. I don't care. So what? So that's the cards you dealt with, that's the cards we got. That's it. So you look like me, and if you don't want to be at the bottom, you need to get your tail up. I don't have time to go back and forth about, well, that's not fair. Life isn't fair. You didn't ask for this, I didn't either. It is what it is. Get your tail up. Because you at the bottom. Economically, you are at the bottom. And I know people don't want to hear that, but that is the truth. So you need to get up. You need to be the first one up. And you better fight with all your might to make the algorithm bend to your command. Because that's what you got. Everybody, it's other people they don't have to worry as much. I'm just being honest. I'd rather be honest with you than be on here gassing your head up and blowing smoke up your tailpipe. You need to get busy. Life ain't fair. Understood. This is why you need self concept. You need to do the inner work and you need to show up and get favor. Okay. All right. You too. I'm gone. I'm gone. This is it. We're going on. All right, Substack. See